So we got this really cool truck in the shop. This is a factory 5 build. You can see it's a tube chassis, got a stroked Ford motor in it. This thing is really, really sweet. Front end of this is obviously longer than a Ford would be. It's a fiberglass body and stuff, but anyway, typically the front end is not this long. So they make a hood, but the hood is too short. So we need about a foot of hood here from roughly here to here, and so we need to build a section and make it all flow properly. So we will be modifying this hood, which is also fiberglass, to fit on the front of this truck. Hood, it'll actually be left open here on the side so you'll be able to see the motor, and then there will be straps, like leather straps. It'll go from here to here and here to here. But this is the section I was talking about where it's too short. So I need to figure out exactly what I got to do to make this blend. It actually is pretty close to the right shape already. So we probably won't have to do a ton of work, but you can tell this has a higher crown in it than this hood. So what I'm going to do is I got some tape on my arm. I'm going to get this hood positioned at the right height. So I'll probably just throw something under here on top of the radiator hoses to get that up to the right height, and then I'm going to string some tape across here just to kind of get an idea of what we would need to add in there. So we're going from the top of this to what would actually be the bottom of this, and that's okay because right now I'm just looking at this. We know that we can get this body line close just based off of how that looks with the tape. I'm going to cut this right on the lines of what the tape is, and then we'll just flatten this out. You could just peel this off, transfer this right onto your sheet metal, and that would give you your filler piece for your sheet metal. See, it's more or less the shape that we need. All right, so I've got this piece of plastic, and I'm gonna trace this tape. This is the piece that we took off the car. I'm gonna trace this out. I gotta do a little bit of trimming, clean this up real quick. So this plastic can be sheared. And I'm not so sure these power shears will work, but I'm gonna try them. Work pretty good, actually. All right, so now let's see what this looks like on the car. Well, that ain't bad so far. Not bad. Not bad for a first fitment. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna clamp this in a couple of different spots. I'm gonna warm this up with a heat gun so it takes that shape. And then probably go ahead and clean up this edge of the hood. We can build that fiberglass filler. All right, so I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, but this kind of puckers out a little bit right here because of how we have it pinched. So what I'm gonna do is warm up this whole edge and then just kind of gently push this in, and hopefully it'll hold its shape. Okay, a little bit of shaping with that heat gun. You see we got a really nice plane here. It actually is going to be right about where we want it, I think. So, looks good. Everything is nice and straight. You don't have that wave out here, you know, before where this kind of puckered out. Now I've made it pucker in just a little bit because we're going to add fiberglass. We don't want it puckered out. So this is actually going to be, I think, right about where we want it. So now the next step is to mask everything off so that we don't get resin on anything that we don't want it on. So I'm going to tape off the whole car and then get all this sealed up so that resin can't leak by. I'm going to grind just the top edge of this a little bit, so we can get the initial piece of fiberglass put on here, and then we'll take this whole hood off and we'll do the entire thing. So this is just the initial to get the shape on the car, and then I want to work on the hood, not on the car, so we don't have to worry about the car while we're working on it. All right, so I didn't record it, but I went next door and just ground all the fiberglass more or less smooth. I've got a little bit of body work to do, but this thing actually fits really nice so far. You can see it's got a real nice shape. Everything, you know, it's a little narrow, so this actually is going to have a little bit of a blend in between here and here. But I think it's going to turn out really nice. So far, I'm pretty happy with how it looks, and I think it's going to match up good. So this was the first initial test fit. You can see without even really being over here, I did all this work in the other shop trying to keep the dust out of here. But I'm pretty happy with how it looks so far. So pretty much what I'm going to do now is clean this up some more. I've got to grind this down a little bit more to make it, you know, flush with that front edge. And then I'm going to come back through and body work this and just blend it together. So I probably won't record that just because body work's boring, but I will come back when we get ready to do the install. Well, there she is. Final hood fit. Looks really, really good. Very happy with how that turned out. We also did these hood straps to hold the hood down. Front end really turned out nice. Got a great shape. Really followed the body lines well. We extended out this body line here that was in it, and I think it turned out really, really good. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a like and a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments if there's anything you'd like to see from here on out. We're going to be doing a ton of videos. I appreciate all the likes, the comments, and the follows, and I'll see you guys on the next one.